Okay, in today's video, I'll be talking about how much it would cost to put your own computer together versus buying a whole new one. And the computers that I do recommend from OEM build or from manufacturer would be something like a Dell or a Lenovo would also be good. But today I'll just be looking at Dell computers and I'll be comparing it to how much it would cost you to put your own computer together versus buying a whole new one from a manufacturer. So this is what I got from how much it would cost to build a computer, all the parts that go into a computer, like the motherboard, CPU, processor. This is a storage, this is an NVMe SSD, 500 gigabytes, hard drive. This is a CPU heatsink fan. This is the RAM for the computer. This is the power supply. This is a case, and this is the operating system. You could buy the operating system at this website for much less than what you pay for it in retail, because you'd be paying about roughly $200 for this Windows key. But if you go to this website, you could buy the Windows key, and first you would just get the ISO image of Windows 11, which is free, which I'll show you where you can get it. You can get that from Microsoft's website. You just go here and download it. It's perfectly free. This is the ISO file or the CD, or I think it's a DVD image. You could get it from this website. And you could, after you install Windows, you could, if you don't know how to do that, I have a video on how to install Windows 11 or Windows 10. You could look at that in the video descriptions below. And after you install it, you can activate Windows 11 with the Windows 11 key. You can get at this website. They sell Windows 11 Pro for about $31.60. You could buy it on this site. It's perfectly safe. It's legal. It's not piracy or anything like that. But that's where you could get the operating system. And if you want to buy the operating system on Amazon or wherever, or even on Microsoft's website, you're going to pay a lot. Windows 10 Pro. The price went down. Okay, for about $136, you could buy Windows Professional. It says Windows 10 Pro. Okay, all Windows 10 versions are upgradable to Windows 11. Also, if you have Windows 7 installed on a computer, you can also upgrade that to Windows 11, and I have successfully done that, and it does work. So it would cost you about $885.95. That's without tax. There's no GPU in here, for about $885.97. So the prices on Amazon always changes, so it could be a little bit more than this or a little bit less. prices do fluctuate on websites. And if you pay tax, my tax rate in my state is about 9.75%. For yours, it could be less. Let's say it was 7%. You would pay $947.98, opposed to $972.35, which I would be paying in my state if I purchased it. If I purchased all these parts online. If I wanted to put a graphics card in here like an MSI GeForce RTX 3070, 8 gigabyte, it costs about $529. Sorry, that's not Amazon. I think that was a new egg. You could purchase it for about $529.99 before taxes. So if you add the total, subtotal is $1,415.96. This is before tax. And this would give you a pretty premium computer. The one that I recently built for myself has an i7-10700KF processor in there. And I spent about this much money for it. So if you want to get a budget computer, it's going to be a lot less because the parts are not going to be as expensive. You get a cheaper CPU, like an i3-10105 quad-core processor. You could get a power supply which is less, which is a EVGA 80 plus bronze 600 watt power supply, and you could just get 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM. This would cost about $581.88 before taxes. After taxes in my state, 9.75% tax, is $638.61. And if I want to get a graphics card, again, this is Newegg. Newegg is the best place to buy graphics processors or graphics cards. I always buy from Newegg because they always have the best price for GPUs. And $189.99. This is before tax. If I add it all together, maybe I should just add the subtotal price. How much that is before taxes. $771.87, and you would get a graphics card with this price. And if you pay taxes, for me, it would be about $847.12. So this is for a whole new computer with an operating system, a Windows 11 Pro operating system. So let's see how much it would cost to buy a whole new computer. Something like a Dell or something. Well, the price has been reduced, which is good. Original price is $13.99. I think Dell is the company that's selling on Amazon. So this is a 12th generation i7-12700. It's not a K model. It's just a regular. This processor is pretty good as well. It comes with Windows 11 Pro. A 1 terabyte hard drive. The one that I had in my version had a 4 terabyte hard drive. Mine had a 500 gigabyte SSD. This one comes with 512. It doesn't come with any graphics card. It just uses the built-in graphics card, which is in the embedded in the CPU or integrated in the CPU. And this is almost the same specs as this computer, which doesn't come with a GPU, for $885.97. That's subtotal before taxes, and this is also the before taxes price. So you definitely will get a lot more for your money if you put your own computer together, and it's not very hard to put one together. It's um, it's like working with Legos or something. It's not hard at all. There's plenty of tutorial videos on YouTube that tell you how to put a computer together. And I put together all the computers that I used uh, since 1996. And I started doing this as a hobby back in the mid 1990s because computers were so expensive to buy back in the 1990s. So I just put my own computers together for my own personal use. And yeah, it still costs a little bit less if you put a computer together versus buying one from a manufacturer, as you can see. Let's look at other Dell models. This is one that comes with an 11700 processor, same amount of RAM, almost the same amount of hard drive space, but less hard drive space. Less, mine has less SSD space, but the one that I showed you has more hard drive space, which is 4 terabytes versus 1 terabyte. This one you could buy it for $1,163. And this one does not come with a graphics card or anything like that. It does come with an operating system. All Dell computers do come with operating systems. So do Lenovo's and HP's and everything else. $1,163. The one that I could put together is still cheaper, $885 versus $1,100, just $214 cheaper. And of course, this does not come with a monitor or a keyboard or anything. That's all separate. Let's compare it to this and how much cheaper it is compared to that. The one that I showed you earlier. $364 cheaper. But the processor is about, let's see how many generations better. It's one generation better, but I don't think it's really going to make that much of a difference, to tell you the truth. Let's say you want to get a budget Dell. XPS is kind of like a premium line. We'll get it compared to an MT, which is mid-tower. We're going to look for a new one, not an old one or anything like that. Let's see. I guess this could be comparable to $835. This one comes with an i11, i5, not an i7. It comes with less RAM, only 8 gigabytes versus 16 gigabytes. Comes with a smaller SSD, which is 244 gigabytes smaller. There is no hard drive in here. This is a small form factor. And it costs $835. Definitely you get less for your money, and you can't put a full-size graphics card in a computer like this. And let's compare that to my budget build. $253.12 more. As you can see, it does cost more for this. And small form factors do have issues with heat and stuff like that. Let's compare it to a computer like this. This is a 10th generation i5. It comes with a solid state drive SSD, 512. Doesn't come with a hard drive. It only has 12 gigabytes of RAM versus the 16, which was shown here. This is $581. And it is still cheaper than the Dell computer. This is from Dell's website. This is from Dell, the company that's selling it on Amazon. So it's still cheaper, but you get a keyboard and a mouse, but that's not really an incentive to buy it because keyboard and mice are pretty cheap. You could buy it for probably $20 or something. So it is much less expensive to put your own computer together than buying one from a manufacturer. Kind of like if you are good at cooking and cook all your food at home, if you have the time to do that, and if you do that, then it's a lot cheaper to buy the ingredients, cook your own food, than buying it at a restaurant. It's always going to be a lot less expensive. That would be the correct analogy for building your own computer versus buying a new computer. So that's why I always built my own computers. When I have time, I always build them on the weekend or something when I have time. I may not complete it on that weekend, but usually to put a computer together, to assemble it, I'm pretty skilled at it. I can get it done in probably, to tell you honestly, 2 to 3 hours flat. That's how long it would take me to assemble a whole computer for myself. It doesn't take long, but if you're a newbie or something, it could take you a little bit more time. Maybe it could take you several hours or something, but if you're skilled at it, it doesn't take very long. It's not very difficult to do. It doesn't require anything like soldering in chips or anything like that. So it's just all you need is a Phillips head screwdriver, and you may need a pair of pliers to put in the brass mountings on the case, on the computer case for the motherboard, and that's about it. You just need a pair of pliers, Phillips head screwdriver. You'll need some stuff like thermal paste for the heatsink. That's pretty much it. It's not hard or anything. It's not like computer programming or something like that. It's very simple. Okay. Anyways, if you have any questions, you could leave it in the comment section below. And thanks for watching my Ace 1000 KS 1975.